All right, let's get existential for a hot minute, shall we? Imagine society as a large program. Think lines of code, algorithms, the whole shebang. Now, just like any computer program, it can get corrupted. These harmful elements, these bugs in the system, they cause imbalance, inequality, and sometimes a whole system crash. Today, we're diving deep into the matrix, excavating those poisonous elements that are weakening the very integrity of our societal system. We're talking corruption, inequality, greed, the whole nasty lot. Buckle up, folks, because it's about to get real. Let's start with the bedrock, the foundation upon which any functioning society is built, its core values. We're talking about those fundamental principles of fairness, justice, and equality before the law. Now imagine a termite infestation slowly but surely chewing away at that very foundation. That, my friends, is corruption. It's the politician accepting bribes, turning a blind eye to injustice, all while lining their pockets. It's the rigged system that favors the wealthy and powerful, leaving everyday people feeling powerless and voiceless. When corruption festers, it erodes trust, breeds cynicism, and ultimately weakens the entire societal structure. It's like trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand. Eventually, the whole thing is going to collapse. And let's be clear, this isn't some abstract concept. This is about real people, real lives being impacted. It's about the families struggling to make ends meet because the system is rigged against them. It's about the feeling of hopelessness that sets in when you realize the game is fixed. Let's talk about inequality, that yawning chasm that separates the haves from the have-nots. We live in a world where a select few hoard more wealth than entire nations, while billions struggle to put food on the table. This isn't just morally wrong, it's economically and socially unsustainable. It's like having a sports team where only one player gets to train, eat properly, and rest. Sure, that one player might excel, but the team as a whole is going to be utter rubbish. Inequality stifles opportunity, perpetuates poverty, and fuels social unrest. It creates a system where people are not judged on their merits, their hard work, their character, but rather on the accident of their birth, the color of their skin, or the zip code they grew up in. It's a system that tells people they aren't worthy, they aren't valuable, and frankly, it's a system that's just begging for a revolution. We need to bridge this chasm, not with band-aid solutions, but with systemic change. We need to create a level playing field where everyone has a genuine shot at success. Otherwise, this inequality virus will continue to spread, and we'll all pay the price. Let's be honest, we live in a world obsessed with stuff, with accumulating more. It's a world where corporations are legally obligated to prioritize profit over everything else, even if it means exploiting workers, polluting the environment, or peddling products they know are harmful. This insatiable greed, this relentless pursuit of profit above all else, is pushing us towards a cliff. It's like we're on a runaway train, fueled by fossil fuels and consumerism, hurtling towards a climate catastrophe. We need to hit the brakes, folks, and rethink our entire economic system. We need to move away from this short-term extractive mindset and embrace a more sustainable, equitable approach. One that values people and the planet over profit margins. One where businesses are judged not just on their bottom line, but on their social and environmental impact. It's time to rewrite the rules of the game, to create an economy that works for everyone, not just the privileged few at the top. Chapter 4. Unmasking the patriarchy, gender inequality's toxic legacy. Okay, folks, time to talk about the patriarchy. That's right, it's not a myth, it's not a conspiracy theory, it's a very real system of oppression that has been holding back half the population for far too long. We're talking about a system where women are paid less for the same work, where they're disproportionately burdened with unpaid care work, and where they face constant discrimination and violence simply for being women. It's a system that tells women their voices don't matter, their experiences are invalid, and their ambitions are secondary. This isn't just a women's issue, folks, this is a human issue. When we limit the potential of women, we limit the potential of humanity. We need to dismantle the patriarchy, brick by brick, and create a society where everyone, regardless of gender, has the opportunity to thrive. We need to challenge gender stereotypes, promote equal pay, and create a world where women feel safe, respected, and empowered. It's time to finally shatter that glass ceiling and create a more just and equitable world for all. Chapter 5. The virus of violence, war, militarization, and the erosion of peace. Let's address the elephant in the room, or rather the war machine in the room. Violence in all its forms is a cancer on society. Whether it's armed conflict, domestic abuse, or systemic racism, violence tears at the very fabric of our humanity. We pour trillions of dollars into weapons of war while millions go hungry. We prioritize military might over diplomacy and peace building. It's a vicious cycle fueled by fear, greed, and a lust for power. We need to break free from this cycle of violence. We need to invest in education, healthcare, and diplomacy. We need to address the root causes of conflict, such as poverty, inequality, and oppression. It's time to lay down our weapons, both literally and figuratively, and embrace a path of peace, understanding, and cooperation. Chapter 6. Planet on the Brink, Environmental Destruction and the Urgency of Sustainability. Here's a newsflash. We only have one planet. Shocking, I know, but for some reason, we seem hell-bent on destroying it. Climate change is real, folks, and it's happening right now. We're talking extreme weather events, rising sea levels, and mass extinctions. This isn't some distant threat, this is our reality. We're burning through our planet's resources like there's no tomorrow, and frankly, at this rate, there might not be. We need to act now, and we need to act decisively. We need to transition to a clean energy economy, embrace sustainable practices, and protect our planet's biodiversity. This isn't just about saving the polar bears, folks. This is about saving ourselves. We're all interconnected, and what harms the planet harms us all. It's time to wake up, wise up, and start treating our planet with the respect it deserves. Chapter 7. Education under siege, misinformation, inequality, and the battle for truth. Education, my friends, is the key. It's the most powerful weapon we have to combat ignorance, prejudice, and yes, even those pesky societal poisons we've been talking about. But what happens when education itself becomes corrupted? When misinformation runs rampant, when access to quality education is determined by your zip code, when critical thinking is replaced with blind obedience. We end up with a society ill-equipped to deal with the complex challenges we face. A society vulnerable to manipulation, division, and ultimately its own destruction. We need to invest in quality education for all, regardless of background or circumstance. We need to equip future generations with the critical thinking skills, the media literacy, and the empathy to navigate this increasingly complex world. Knowledge is power, folks, and we need to make sure that power is accessible to all. Chapter 8. The Empathy Deficit, Reclaiming Compassion in a Divided World. We've talked about corruption, inequality, greed, violence, environmental destruction, the whole dystopian buffet. But there's one more poison we need to address, the lack of empathy. We live in a world where it's easy to become desensitized to the suffering of others, where we scroll past images of war and poverty, our hearts hardening with each swipe. We retreat into our echo chambers, surrounding ourselves with people who think and look like us, reinforcing our own biases. This lack of empathy, this inability to connect with those different from ourselves, is tearing us apart. It's fueling polarization, prejudice, and ultimately it's making it easier to dehumanize and harm one another. We need to cultivate empathy, folks. We need to listen to each other's stories, understand each other's perspectives, and recognize our shared humanity. Empathy is the bridge that connects us, the antidote to division, and the foundation for a more just and compassionate world. Outro: rewriting the code, building a better future together. So there you have it, folks. Society's poisonous code laid bare. We've explored the corruption, the inequality, the greed, the violence, the environmental destruction, the corruption of education, and the lack of empathy that are eating away at our world. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. We have the power to rewrite the code, to create a society that is just, equitable, sustainable, and compassionate. It won't be easy. It will require systemic change, but it is possible. It starts with each and every one of us. By challenging injustice, by demanding better from our leaders, by choosing kindness over indifference, we can create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. The future is not predetermined, folks. It's up to us to write it. Let's choose wisely.